It is not how you win, it's whether you win.
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
Strategy versus philosophy. Strategy versus philosophy. That's people say, "Oh, yo, what's that about me? Why are you writing there?" Strategy versus philosophy. That was pretty much the crux of this game. Ajax with the philosophy, Tottenham with the strategy. And what it has shown is it's cool to have a philosophy, it's great to have a philosophy, and it's great to stick to that philosophy and prove that, with this philosophy, we feel that this is how things should be played. But let me have a little bit of a pancake here. Being a slave to a philosophy will only do you harm. It will only do you harm. See, the thing with Tottenham, and this goes back to what I said in the first second, people, because let's just be real. Everybody insulted Tottenham in that first leg. They called them trash, useless, a horrible performance, and they used that as a yardstick to say that they had no chance. People said, look at how many games that Tottenham have lost. Look at who they've lost to. They have no chance. And I kept reminding people that, first of all, who cares about West Ham? Who cares about the teams that lost in the Premier League? The Premier League ain't a Champions League semi-final, so that's irrelevant. And the second thing is, based on them not having Son and Pochettino not having enough of an attack to really utilize and really cause threats, 1-0 was a very good result. Under the circumstances, 1-0 was a very good result. No Harry Kane, no sunrise in the east, 1-0 was a very good result. As was proven here. Because I said, this is a 180-minute match. It's not a 90-minute game, it's a 180-minute game. So when you look at that first half, I thought that, it is what it is. Tottenham just have to say, we've lost the game on time, because what you saw was Ajax's philosophy being carried on through from what they saw in the first half. Their passing, their movement, how they're finding spaces, the individual ability, the balance, the combinations between players, how they were the pass control and move, how quickly they were doing things, their spacing between guys. Tottenham were finding it impossible to deal with it, especially Sissoko and Wanyama, who were there to stop that. They couldn't deal with the more mobility and the movements that were coming from Ajax. So 2-0 coming in there, it looked as if it's going to be lights out. And Ajax said they're going to keep it 2-0 or keep it 3-4-0. Now, if you're a strategist, Mr. Ten Hag, if you're a strategist, 2-0 up, let's keep the ball. Why do we need to win 3-4-5-0? It's about winning. It's not how you win, it's whether you win. It is not how you win, it's whether you win. That is what football has to be about. So Ajax played the same exact way. And I think Pochettino said, we had opportunities in that first one. The key thing is, I know a lot of the headlines will be about Lucas Moura, and for me, the best hat-trick I've ever seen based on the circumstance. Obviously, the best hat-trick for quality is Rivaldo's hat-trick against Valencia. The best hat-trick based on the circumstance is this hat-trick, best hat-trick of all time. But the thing about this is, Pochettino was, because the attack was more threatened by the appearance of Son. Son didn't have to have a great game. He didn't have to score. Just his existence being there meant that Ajax had to now deal with both a Moura and a Son, whereas that the only guy they had to really deal with was Moura in the first leg. So going into the second, I think Pochettino said, look, what's 2-0 down? We someone need 3 goals. It's going to be tough, but we're still in the game. And this is where the strategy comes in. Pochettino, obviously studying this team, studying what they're about, says that these guys are going to play the same exact way. They're not going to sit back. They're not going to bring on a DM or another defender. They're not going to go conservative. They're going to remain as they're going to remain. And I think Pochettino said, what? If they do that, let's just make sure that we don't consider third. But let's go route one. Play that ball long and try and get those knock-ons. Let's just go direct. Let's not play them at the game. What they want is for us to play them at their game. Keep it short, pass them up. Let us actually now take it back old school and let's just see how well do they deal with those long balls. How well do they deal with this, with the strength and the height of your Rente? How well do they deal with knock-ons, with 50 balls? How well do they deal with those? So once Tottenham utilized that, and once Moura got that first goal to make it 3-1 on aggregate, I was like, all right, at least there's hope. At least there is hope. But the key thing, and which just shows you the beauty about football, is I believe it was 4 minutes later. Scramble. I think this was after Onana made a very good save on Dele Alli. Scramble. We did not know what was happening. And Moura had the ball. His footwork, which I didn't see in the first one, his footwork to quickly evade, get past dudes, and to get that ball into the bottom left-hand corner, I was like, oh my God. Like, that's what made some reaction. I was like, they're in. One more goal and they win. From being totally destroyed out of it to now one more goal and they win. And this is where again, it goes back to strategy versus philosophy. At this point in time for Ajax, this is where you've got to keep the ball. Don't attack, don't go through. But the issue is that they had chances. They had opportunities. Ziyech had 2 great opportunities, missing by a whisker and hitting the post. And I felt that maybe Ten Hag or Ajax, they believe that we have to score. We are going to score. But remember, isn't this the same narrative when they played Real Madrid at home, when they played Juventus at home? Chances, but do not put them away. And when you know that the players that you have don't have the clinical ability of like a Pique Lewandowski, an Aguero or a so forth, you have to have better game management. You have to have better game management. And as a manager of the team, you have to say, you know what? Keep possession of the ball. Get stops. Slow the game down. Take the energy out of the game. Don't give Tottenham any hope. Because the more and more that we come out and play, the more that... Because Tottenham were like, boom. I know Ajax are coming out, but as much as they come at us, they leave space in behind them. So let's just find those spaces with a direct ball and we can get some flipping cheddar. Look, man. This was like in the 93rd or 94th minute. Or even the 95th. When that ball just... Because again, look at how the goal was scored. Route 1 ball. Llorente, because of his height and his presence, wins the ball. I think Dele Alli now gets the knock-on down, gives it into Moura. Moura finds a space, boom. It's not about keeping it pretty, short passes, keep cornerstone the perfect goal. It's being economical. Economical football. It's not how you win, it's whether you win. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I think when Moura scored that, see, for me, I knew that was it. That was it. Like, even how you saw how Ajax reacted, it was just a soccer plunge and a body blow. Like, they were not scoring again. Their heart and their character was taken out of them. And you say to yourselves that I'm not keep on going. It's this whole thing of strategy, philosophy, because what Pochettino achieved is simply incredible. It's simply incredible because, of course, it was a massive team effort, a huge, amazing team effort. Sissoko's second half was incredible because what Sissoko was able to do, how he was able to win the ball, drive forward with the ball, get past guys, constantly to make ground and really drive into the heart of the Ajax defense. I think that helps to elevate and actually give hope to Tottenham's players that, you know what, no, it's swinging in our favor. And I think once Ajax saw that momentum push and everything, they didn't know how to react. And I think, which is why when in football matches you have situations, that's why it's called football management. It's not called football philosophy, it's called football management because you have to manage situations. So what do you do if you're 2-0 up? What do you do if you're 2-0 down? What do you do when it's 1-1? Do you know how to attack and find goals? Do you know how to defend and restrict the amount of goals to happen? Do you know how to keep possession of the ball? Do you know how to make stops? Do you know how to do tactical fouls? These are all things that are important. You can't just train, especially in high-level football, you can't just train football players to play one particular way. You must know how to attack, how to keep the ball, how to defend, how to counter-attack, how to go route one. These are all things you have to know how to do, because these are things that you will, based on the opposition you're facing and what is happening in the game, you need to have 5-6 different strategies and be able to pull them out like a roller deck. So boom, okay, let's get that long ball, let's get that short ball, let's get that counter attack, let's get that set back, let's get that overload counter attack, let's get that whole wing back play, let's get that whole crossing thing. So these are all things you should know how to do, because so whatever situation you can fall onto something that can be effective. But if you only have one philosophy and that philosophy ain't working, and you have nothing else to go to, then you're screwed. But let's just take things into account. This was Tottenham's first ever Champions League semi-final. Their first ever. And now they'll be playing their first ever Champions League final. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe that. Let's be real, guys. The perennial bottlers, bottle club, Tottenham should change their badge to a bottle. These are the losers. They'll always mess up. You see, and I was saying this to Matt and Drifty from the Banter Show, like, Tottenham have nothing to lose in the final. Nothing to lose. Because even if they lose the final 5-0, 6-0, 2-1, 3-2, whatever, they've already made history. They've already made history in the most dramatic. So I have never experienced a match like that, a moment like that in a match. I cannot think of any match that's had that kind of drama. That kind of, I mean, like, go online and just look at all of the reactions. Look at all of the reactions, because you have to understand, Tottenham didn't have Harry Kane. Tottenham didn't have Son in the first leg. 100%, Tottenham won the game, but Ajax are the better team. They are the better team. They were playing at home. They went 2-0 ahead. So coming into the second half, Tottenham were 3-0 down, and they had to find 3 goals away from home. But I think also, I've also given a shout out, because they were definitely criticized a lot, justifiably so, in the first leg. But I thought that Danny Rose and I think they have to talk to Pochettino, because Danny Rose and Trippier, they just were completely different. How they came out in that second half was just, I was like, they were different players. Like, they were more effective. Their crossing was a lot sharper. I think it was even Trippier's ball across that actually led to, I think, the second goal. So, and that was a very key thing, by them being effective, winning balls, pushing forward, and actually offering something positive, effective from their wing-back position. So, for Ajax, I mean, I'm sorry, like, you can't blame this on being prospects or being young and everything. Even if I did say in my preview that, how will they deal with the pressure? How will they deal with adversity? How will they deal when things are not going their way? And when you have such young players, you have to have a strong, experienced manager who says, guys, there are things you need to learn about games. Especially so when this is not a Dutch league game. This is not an Eredivisie game. This is a Champions League semi-final against an opponent we don't know. Against an opponent that plays football differently than we do. So we have to have different mentalities and different approaches based on what these guys are going to throw at us. It is very naive to believe that your philosophy will win the game every single time. Yes, it beats Juventus. Yes, it beats Real Madrid. But this is a Champions League semi-final, and you cannot assume that your philosophy is just going to see your way all the way through. So I actually have yourself to blame, because to be 3-0, 45 minutes to go at your home ground, and to still lose, messed up. But I mean, that's what Lucas Moura, he's already gone into history. Like, we will look back at this game as one of the craziest Champions League games of all time. Again, there have been many, 100% there have been many. Obviously, Miracle at Camp Nou is still the best comeback. But the reason why this has a special place is because of how nobody gave Tottenham a chance. How they don't get any chance, and how they were able to do, because I think this and the Miracle at Camp Nou are sort of similar. Miracle at Camp Nou, I still think, is the greatest comeback in Champions League history, 100%. It still is. But because the thing about this is that, yes, it was crazy, but it's still Barcelona. It's still Neymar, so they still have a heritage. This is Tottenham. It's Tottenham. I know Ajax are young and the prospects, but their club, their crest, has seen the final at least twice before already. Tottenham have never sniffed a semi-final before they played Ajax. They never even dreamt or hinted at a Champions League final. And now they'll be playing a Champions League final? I mean, it's outstanding. It is absolutely flipping outstanding. Absolutely flipping outstanding, man. So, but this just shows that football is the greatest sport in the world. There is no sport like it, and I just feel lucky and privileged to be able to be part of football that I loved this sport, because to experience this live, just live happening, I mean, absolutely incredible. Absolutely flipping. Totally. Pochettino, bro, like, I don't even know what was probably inside his head after the whistle went, because his collar was up, his tie was undone. You couldn't even speak to the guy. The guy couldn't even walk straight. So look, man, crazy. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month, and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.